sure, I've got a lot going on in my life, but it doesn't feel like volunteering for 412 Food Rescue is that much more. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm busy. I've got a lot piled up on my plate. I work for UPMC Children's Hospital. I've been there for 27 years, and that is my main course. And when I'm not at work, I like to volunteer for family hospice and palliative care because they do very important work and they need people. I also volunteer for animal friends, and when I'm there, I get to work with my own certified therapy dog, Coco. Oh, I'm married, and we have 2 grown sons. We like to garden. We're into craft beer, and I like mixed martial arts. I watch that a lot. So yeah, I have a pretty heavy plate, but it is not completely full. See, I'm one of 6 kids, and I know firsthand how hard it was for my parents to feed us all, put food on the table. That is a real problem, and I wanted to help. And the best way I could help, I thought, was to volunteer for 412 Food Rescue. And registration to sign up, for volunteering, it was so easy. It took less time than it does to microwave a bag of popcorn. And well, maybe that's what volunteering for 412 Food Rescue is like. It's like a big, buttery, hot bag of popcorn that you're passing around. It's rewarding, but it's not too demanding. I'm getting kind of tangled up in the food metaphors, but I guess that's kind of appropriate for what we're talking about. After I signed up to volunteer for 412 Food Rescue, I just sort of, I just dove in and got right to work. I have a regular rescue route every Saturday morning, and when I don't have to work, I try to schedule extra routes. I've had a lot of adventures when I've been delivering my produce. All right, my favorite story is I was making a regular delivery to one of the Allegheny housing unit apartment buildings, right? And as I was bringing a box in, this elderly gentleman was coming out and he was looking in the box, and he said that he had to go to the doctor for an appointment, but could he maybe take some cucumbers with him? So sure, I helped him load his pockets with cukes, and we got giggling about what his doctor was going to say when he saw those cucumbers in his pocket. I'm sorry. I think my favorite part about being a 412 Food Rescue volunteer is knowing that the people I deliver food to are not going to go to bed hungry. It just makes my heart happy. Most rescues can be completed in less than an hour, so it fits right into your day. It's just the simplest and most impactful way I know how to make a real difference. A lot of my friends have become volunteers just because of what I posted on Facebook and Twitter. It looks like fun, and it is fun. See, when you are a 412 Food Rescue volunteer, you have a chance to help people, and I really believe that people genuinely want to help other people. They just don't know where to start. But if you sign up to be a 412 Food Rescue volunteer, you'll get to feed people. And who doesn't want to do that?
doing? I'm Gene.
I'm Vicky.
And we're Food Rescue Heroes.
Well, among other things, he worked in IT and he served in the U.S. Army.
She was a bank teller and a cash office associate and a domestic engineer.
Domestic engineer.
Household and family supervisor, home manager.
Huh, I like the sound of that. Very professional. Oh, and he was in a band.
We played in high school. We reconnected a few years ago.
They're on a reunion tour.
Anyway, we wear a lot of different hats.
But the Food Rescue Hero is one of the most important.
Vicky heard about the food rescue effort in the Pittsburgh Magazine, and being a domestic engineer, she thought it was a good move for us.
Yeah, and the registration is super easy. All you need is a smartphone or an iPad. Load the app, answer a few questions, and you're well on your way.
You could take a regularly scheduled rescue or do one ad hoc, which is what we prefer. Ad hoc lets you be flexible with your schedule.
Since September of 2017, we've done 65 rescues, and that is 101.5 hours between the two of us. That's 1,514 miles.
See what I mean? Domestic engineer.
Well, I like to be organized.
Every food rescue is a new adventure.
Oh, it sure is. I drive.
And I navigate.
Which can be an adventure in and of itself.
Sometimes I have problems with turns.
Well, it's not so much the turns, dear. It's the warning that you give me before I make the turn.
Sometimes we're in unfamiliar territory.
We'll be in the middle of the intersection and he'll tell me to make a left.
Wait, what are you talking about? This is Pittsburgh. You just make a Pittsburgh left.
Like I said, it's an adventure.
But it's worth it. When you see the charities receiving the food and you see the need for the food in action, you feel so good about what you're doing for others. You really don't understand the need until you see it firsthand.
Oh, it's so true. We can fit 24 cases of bananas in our truck. That's 1,200 pounds of bananas. And we deliver that to 4 or 5 charities.
I let the domestic engineer handle the numbers.
I say that if you want to become a food rescue hero, try it. You'll like it. In our time as food rescue heroes, I noticed that it's not a shortage of food. It's a shortage of the distribution network.
There's so much food available out there. It's just about getting it to the people who need it.
And that is what makes it all worthwhile, even if you have to make a Pittsburgh left.
Let's see. I am a 54-year-old married mother with 3 children, and I am a night pharmacist. I have the night shift at UPMC, which gives me a lot of time to volunteer. My family moved to Dormont in 2013, and we love Dormont. Yeah, you can walk everywhere. There's the tea up the street. There's little shops on Potomac, Hollywood Theater, the Dormont Pool, Friends of the Dormont Pool, where I also volunteer. Whew, the list is endless. Let me see. I like to go to thrift stores, the whole reuse, recycle thing. What else do I like? Trashy romances. I like to ride my bike and dancing and listening to tambouritsen music. That, enough about me. I was a volunteer at the Free Store in Braddock with Giselle Fetterman. And Giselle and Leah Lizarando, they co-founded Rescue 412. So on the days I was at the Free Store, Giselle would start to tell me about what they were planning on doing. And when I wasn't at the Free Store, I started to help out with 412 rescues. At first, they would contact us through Facebook posts and text messages. And then I think I filled out a registration and I took their food safety program. Then an app came along, which made it a whole lot easier. And seriously, it can take only 30 minutes to complete a rescue. And it's totally flexible. If you don't have the time, you don't have to do it. And sometimes I even multitask. And I listen to tamburitsin music when I'm picking up food. Ha! As a volunteer, I mostly do food rescues, and oh my goodness, I have so many great stories to tell. I once got to work on a truck with Carmen Parisi. Carmen is one of the big reasons 412 took off. He bought a refrigerated truck for 412 to use when they first started. Who buys someone a refrigerated truck? Oh, let me see. One year I got to rescue Christmas trees that were left over from the Wiggy Whiskey tree sale. Say that 3 times. Oh, I gotta tell you, throwing trees on a truck is a lot harder than moving lettuce around. I delivered 900 pounds of cheese to the food bank. and the residents and the staff members, they gave me a standing ovation, and I think mainly it was because of the cheese, not because of me. But my favorite story. I was asked to deliver food to a church in the West End. And after I unpacked my car, the nun said that she had just accepted refugee families and they needed food. So I got on my cell phone and I called Jen, and she sent over a truck loaded with food to the church. I mean, literally a truck full of food. One phone call. You know, being president of the PTA, it's helpful to the school and to the students, and working at the snack shack helps the soccer team to fundraise for their banquet. But I don't know, delivering food to a hungry person, wow, that is a life-altering event. I mean, when I deliver food, I see an immediate impact. And that makes me happy.
Now, I know I tend to be kind of mild-mannered, easygoing guy. I have my hobbies. I play tennis, cycling, I play the piano, board games. Nothing too crazy. But there's something about me most people don't realize. I'm constantly furious at the state of the world. Furious. And I need to do something about it. And I can't sit at my house playing board games all day. So I get involved in causes I care about, like green technology, sustainability, climate apocalypse. I volunteer at food pantries. It seems to help the rage subside a bit. Plus, staying active is a great way to calm me down. So I decided to volunteer there because a friend of mine, they got a job at the 4 and 2 food pantry and it seemed interesting to me. And I hate driving and I'm bad at navigating. So I thought it'd be a great way to get me out of my comfort zone while I'm helping others. And actually the registration process was pretty simple. I just downloaded the app to my phone, I synced it to my email, and then I indicated the size of my car and when I was available. And so far I haven't been that furious. And the driving's not too bad when you're helping others. Oh, but I won't parallel park. You can't make me do it. I will not do it. But that being said, it's a great cause and everyone should register. So whenever I'm volunteering, what I'm typically doing is I'm driving around the city to various locations that might have surplus food, like restaurants or grocery stores, universities. And then I'm taking that food to places that might be able to put it to use, like food pantries or assisted living facilities. I remember this one time, I was picking up boxes of canned food from a Chatham University food drive. And when I got there were so many boxes that I honestly didn't think I'd be able to fit it inside my car. I ended up barely fitting it all in there just so I had a little window where I could see out my rearview mirror. And I'll never forget the looks on their faces when I got there. I was taking box after box after box as if it was clowns getting out of a clown car. Volunteering has really kind of opened me up a bit. Before this, I was in kind of a rut where I wasn't really going out, I wasn't meeting people. And now I'm driving around the city, I'm meeting new people, I'm seeing new places. It's almost as if I'm in a brand new city that I just moved to, even though I've lived here all my life. Now, I will say this. If you're thinking about becoming a food rescue hero, buy a tarp, because it can get messy. But the messiness is totally worth it. You're helping reduce food waste, and you're giving food to people who would otherwise go hungry.